Alright, so in this video, I'll be covering the Chinese remainder theorem. So we see here in this example, we have about two congruences. Usually, when it comes to the Chinese remainder theorem, you'll have two or more congruences, and it can range up to however many you want. Could be three, could be four, could be five, or could be six. But in this example, I'll be using two congruences for the sake of the time. So first, let's get started with the first row, first congruent. So first, what you want to do is that you want to write down the 3. So we can write that down. And once we got that done, we're going to put a bracket there. And now we just want to cover this row, the modulus. But you just want to include the modulus that is not in that row. So in this case, it'll be 11. Now, if you have an example where you have more than two congruences, you just have to include the modulus of those, and you just multiply them together. So I'm just going to close this off with another bracket. And now we're just trying to find the third number that multiplies with the congruence. The way to find this, we're going to use modular arithmetic. So to do this, we simply just have to take this number, which is inside the bracket, and if you have more than two, you just multiply them together and get the product. And then you just want to mod it by the row modulus, which is 7. So we're going to have 11 mod 7. So now, once we got this, we're just going to find the inverse of that. And now what the inverse is that, the inverse is basically going to find the number that multiplies it to give a remainder of 1. So it's going to be congruent to 1 mod 7. Now in this case, right, the number is more than 7, so we can just reduce that. So if you just simply subtract 7 from 11, which is going to give you 4. 11 minus 7 is going to give you 4. So the first number that multiplies is going to be 4, but the second number, that's the number that we're trying to find out. So 4 times the number is going to give us a remainder of 1 when we divide it by 7. So think about the product that we're trying to get, that when divided by 7, it gives us a remainder of 1. So in this case, I know that 8 divided by 7 is going to give me 1. And we can get 8 by multiplying 4 by 2. And now the number that we need to put here is going to be 2. And that's it. That's the first row. So now we're going to do the second row. 2. And now, 2 is here. So we've got 2. And now when we cover this, we have the modulus 7. That's the only one. And now we're trying to find a number that multiplies on this side. So we're going to do the same thing where we take the number inside the bracket, 7 mod. And what's the mod of this row? 11. 7 mod 11. And we're trying to find the inverse again. So to do this, we don't need to we do not need to reduce it, so because it's under 11. So all we have to do is that we just have to find out a number that is congruent to 1 mod 11, right? So I know that 7 times a number gives me a number when divided by 11, gives a remainder of 1. So in this case, I know that 7 times, I think, 8. Wait, 7 times 8. 7 times 8 give me 56, right? But when 56 is divided by 11, it gives a remainder 1 because obviously 11 times 5 is 55. So then 56 minus 55 gives you 1, which is the remainder 1. So the number here is going to be 8. Now you got those two down. So once you got those two down, you just want to group them all up together to find the x value. So you just take the 3, 3 times 11 times 2 plus 2 times 7 times 8 and now we can just multiply those together. So 3 times 11 times 2, which is going to give you 66. And 2 times 7 times 8. Uh, 2 times 7 times 8, 112. 112. And now 66 plus 112 is giving you 178. Now once you got this number, once you got the x value, you don't want to stop yet. You actually want to find the m value. And the m value is essentially all the modulus of each congruence row times together. So m is equal to 7, got it from the first row, times 11. And we know that 7 times 11 is 77. So the m value is 77, which is the modulus. So we have 178 and 77. So we just take the 178 and you mod it by 77. And you can do this with a calculator. So 178 divided by 77. You see it gives you a whole number and a fraction. So you just want to remove the whole number, minus 2. I just want to times it by the modulus, which is 77. And that's going to give you 24. So this value is the lowest possible. 24 is the lowest positive integer.